You gotta come over a little bit. Ah. Did you grind it out today? Did you? And today's gonna be a doozy of a topic.
No, it's not.
All right. Once again, episode 35. Hang with the Joneses. I'm Rashad.
I'm Kesha.
And today, I'm gonna be talking about, just end of the year, kind of closing this thing out. And just want to talk about how our year went, and that's really it. So, how's the year?
It's been fairly well. Despite COVID and quarantine, I was able to focus in on some of my goals. Like, I was able to get a new position in my job on switch units. Focus a little bit on my business, and and start doing stuff like some self-care. I was, self-care this year, I think it's the most I ever been really focused on self-care.
Why is that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think now because having a group of people and we all live so close together, we kind of motivate each other and encourage each other. Some of it is like we take each other out of our comfort zone. Like some things I'm like, oh, I never thought about it. Like, yeah, let's try this. Like, oh, okay. Like we did the Yanni steam. So yeah, something like that. Like I saw it on TV, but I never thought about it. It's like, let's do this. Like, okay, let's try something new, which is absolutely wonderful.
Wow. Yeah. So basically, you saying now that you have friends,
and we live in the same area.
Yeah, that's what. So you have basically people local.
Yeah.
You can depend and rely on and have fun with. That's always good. Mm-hmm. That's definitely good. What else about your year?
What was my year? A lot of transitioning. Like this is the year I think in a long, long time I've seen a lot of people pass away.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of people, and that can be kind of hard trying to manage and struggle with that, and kind of getting like, oh, like, oh my gosh, another one. That was has been is overwhelming still. But even doing that, not letting me take me down while I'm filled with grief, and I feel like I almost slipped into depression.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of being a thrive with so many people transitioning, and people getting sick with this COVID or just getting sick. So I would say this year I've been more optimistic than I have in a while.
That's good. So what has been the kind of the catalyst for that?
I think doing stuff. Breaking the cycle and doing stuff and not being so kind of like black and white or routine. Like just doing stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do, but you need to kind of explain that.
Doing stuff like, okay, let's go out to eat. That might not have been in our routine to do today. It might be Taco Tuesday, but today let's go out to eat. Or grin with some of my friends and like, let's just go to a local coffee shop. Not coffee, I'm allergic to coffee. But let's go to a local whatever and just talk. Not plan anything. I think that's the difference. Not this year, as we talked about before, like has been the best year of me having seasonal affective disorder. I haven't had that this year, and I'm looking like December is gone, and I feel okay. Like December was the hardest for me because December is like the longest month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, December is gone. Like we're in January.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I'm like, well, hold on. Then January, we're about to be in spring. So even that has helped me. Like I had none. When it came to seasonal affected, I was good this year.
Yeah.
And then even seeing it, I'm like, oh well, it's still sunny out. And I know for some, we talked about this earlier, but seasonal affective disorder is because it gets dark so early. In the winter months, it causes one to become depressed. Because your brain, your body needs that vitamin D, that sunlight, to feel happy. It's a real thing. Like, we need vitamin D to feel happy, and especially for African American women, we usually test low or have a vitamin D deficiency, which means you probably feel sad. That's also one that will have a vitamin D deficiency. So with me, when it comes with the transition of fall to winter, I start feeling sad because of lack of sunlight.
Yeah.
But this year, I have not felt that way.
That's good. That's really good.
What you about to say?
What was
You
I
sounded
about
about to say something smart.
I was about to say, the same malnutrition needing vitamin D and then vitamin to the tingle in your spine.
and also, for vitamin D deficiency, you actually could buy not vitamin D. See, look,
yeah.
For seasonal affective disorder, which is called SAD, because you feel sad. One of the things you can do is they have a SAD light, which is it exposes you to light, so you won't feel like it's always dark.
Yeah, that's cool. Very specific. Very specific, but yeah, definitely is a tool. Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. So you saying actually having some friends that are local, doing stuff out of your routine, like spontaneity, and not really dealing with seasonal affective disorder has greatly improved your year.
But not saying not dealing with it.
I'm just saying not dealing with, like, not having the effects of it.
Not having the effects of it.
Yeah.
Healing through it. That I kind of dealt with it. And don't get me wrong, I feel like that this year. I'm striving that next year to feel the same.
I mean, and on the real, to be honest, you've been like that the last
3 years,
3-4 years. So you can't just say this year.
I feel like this year was the best.
But even last year was good, and the year before that was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's I feel like that's a you can start making this whole thing a past tense thing. But that's the process for you though.
Yeah.
Not me. So that's really good, because it's hard. It's hard to watch you go through stuff, and especially like early on when you kind of figured out what this was, and plus on top of you having to go through like radiation. I'm sorry. I meant to say proton therapy, and having to deal with that, and then have lack of energy, and then not being hungry, not wanting to eat. So it was a whole thing, And it's good to see you kind of come out of the other side of this, a very strong, competent person.
And I think also when looking back at it, I think when my SAD seasonal affective disorder was at the highest is when I worked nights.
Yeah.
Because it's like I was going to work at night and coming out at night. Like there was no daylight. Like it was all night. Or because I come to work, I didn't have much time to enjoy daylight.
Yeah.
So I think that's when it was at its worst, because I feel like it was always dark.
That's cool. Definitely. The some of the segue to me. My year, because there's no easy way to do this. My year has been it's been pretty freaking good. Like, between having to transition to working from home for the most part, and even to starting to pod with you, trying to kick off doing like YouTube more what's the word I'm looking for? More consistently and more frequently, which has been a really interesting journey for me. And even switching, like I said before, switching up my photography style a little bit. That was another challenge that my friend Rikus told me to do, and I did it, and that was very big for me as well. What else?
What goals that you achieve? Because we talked about before that every year, and we don't do it as a New Year's, like New Year, New Me.
I know, no resolution.
But if you do, that's fine. But we have goals every year that we talk about. We talked about this in previous podcasts. We talked about this, that we have goals that relationship goals, individual goals, goals as parents, and then career goals as well. How would you say you did with those goals this year?
I did about like 4 out of 4.
4 out of 4.
Yeah,
So
so
you accomplished all of them.
I mean, I'm saying 4 out of the 4.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my bad. I worded that horribly. Yeah, the goals I have for this year, I completed 4 out of the 8. So I'm
Out
at
of
like,
8.
I'm shooting 50%. So if this was basketball, I'd be doing really good right now. Yeah, so I did about half of those. The other 4, I need to just kind of, I'm matter of fact, I'm going to put them back on it, add a brand new 4, and then keep it moving. One of the goals that I set for myself was to just reassure you that like that you're my priority, and like I just want to make sure that you know that. And did I do a good job at doing that?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I think you have improved. Yes.
So you trying to say I was sucking before?
Or if that was a goal, there must have been some deficits for it to be a goal.
Yeah, it was. So
Right.
yeah, and the funny thing is, and even even before you came out here again, like I was saying, just communication stuff. I have a tendency to not think things aren't important that Kesha deems to be important. Like this this is like a constant thing since like early on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't be seeing no point. Kesha want to be cued in on every subtlety and nuance, but that's just part of her, and like I have to respect that. Sometimes I be feeling like it's the absolute most unnecessary thing, but it's like it is what it is. Mm-hmm. So stuff like that, like I've tried to make sure that I do a better job at, because it just goes a long way.
Yeah.
And
it does.
I want to create equity in our in our marriage, and not only that, but in our friendship. So it's just it's one of those things I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I think we talk about this sometimes, even though you feel like it's little stuff, it's the stuff that make you feel closer to someone. No one likes to hear things that's going on from outside, like someone else. You're like, well, I didn't know that was happening. I sleep with the person every night. So even though sometimes it's little things, sometimes it's not a little thing. In love language, there might be my love language that not necessarily yours. Is it?
What?
Well, my love language is like communication. Like, I'm trying to say, like, is it words of affirmation? No, I'm trying to think of it anyway. But like, maybe it's just in my profession. I like to talk.
Yeah,
so I like to know.
I don't even think that's a love language. That's just.
I think I made it up.
No, it's not. That's just a characteristic trait of yours.
Yeah, and maybe because I talk. Communication, to me, that's communication. So do you think, okay, going back to your goals, do you think 8 goals is a lot to do, or?
No, because I only had like 2 of the goals that I thought were far-fetched.
Okay.
So the other 6, I really felt like I could really do. Like I said, I did 4 of those. 2 of those I felt kind of iffy about, so I didn't want to like check that box. But the last 2, like I know I haven't done well at all. So
now the ones that was far-fetched, did you achieve those 2 goals? Or it's kind of
no. The 2 far-fetched goals are 2 of the goals that I know I have to do again next year.
Okay.
And even with that, even in trying this year, I kind of like I know where I messed up. So now I can actually go through the process of really being intentional about doing that work to complete it, because I really didn't know where to start, or I didn't know if I even should have written it down as a goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just being honest, because it seemed so far beyond what my capabilities were. But it's not even about what I'm capable of. It's more about what I'm willing to do to get it.
That's one right there.
Yeah, and I know for one of them, which I'll probably talk about some other time, is really taking me outside of who I am as a person, And not in like in a negative way where I gotta change who I am or I'm being phony or fake. No, it's just really taking me out of what my norm is. Yeah. And really having to shift into a thing that I need to do in order to get that goal accomplished.
Well, I would say this is taking out your comfort zone. It was definitely taking out my comfort zone. I'm really, really private, so being doing this is kind of like, oh, that's why it took me so long. We have discussed this for how many years?
3 years.
And we're just now doing it. And the reason is because I don't like telling people my business, especially the World Wide Web. Always feel like the man out there looking, and this is just helping. This is just helping. But I would say, kind of honestly, one thing about this quarantine, COVID, it's already an uncomfortable spot. So might as well, like some people say, might as well keep going. Might as well do what you said you wanted to do.
Yeah, and I guess one of my I'll just be honest. Kind of been thinking about what my goals for next year, and really like on the top of that, plus what I already had, is gonna be just embracing the discomfort, because I don't like you don't have we don't have a choice but to embrace that discomfort, especially for the things that you should be doing and the things that I really want to do. Like there's this level of discomfort that we have to have because what, Kesha?
You trying to use my words against me. My philosophy, my hypothesis, my theory is that people don't change until they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, so we have to get very uncomfortable so we can start to actually move forward in some of the things that we really want to do. And the thing, and the amazing thing is, some of these goals that we have, they are very attainable, and I think next year for certain, we're going to have to really start doing a series about fear. And I think that's something that I talked about earlier, that you was like, nah, I can't do this right now. And it's just really...
What, talk about fear right now? Or
not on the pod. You did not want to do it. Because, I definitely, about midway through the summer, I said, we should do this. He was like, nah, I ain't doing that. I said, okay. I'll table that.
What keeps coming to me is when you say about being discomfort, count it all joy. Because be honest with you, when you're not in a place where you feel comfortable, what tends to happen? You starting to feel sad.
Yeah.
You start to feel like, oh, there is no joy, or I'm not happy. So even in that discomfort, still be able to count it all joy, which is like, sometimes you feel like an oxymoron.
Yeah, so definitely going to be talking about that a little bit next year at some point. But
I told him, okay.
Yeah.
I said,
now you remember.
No, I don't. I still don't remember. Yeah. But saying next year, I think. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, it's a whole thing. So yeah, between that, embracing the discomfort and really trying to see what it is that I know that I can and should be doing. Like, yeah, it's really where it kind of took this year to get me to where I know I'm going to be kind of walking into, not to, minus the churchy euphemism aside, what I'm going to be doing next year. So that's kind of really where I am in regards to the goals that I set for myself.
Have you started with the 4 you complete, and so you still have 4 more? Did you add any new goals for next year?
No, I just told you the one I just did on the fly, so that's 5.
Oh, you just made it right here off the dome?
Yeah, I just thought about it. Because it's something that I need to do, and to be for real, like if I start doing that, then the other goals will kind of fall in line. I know the 2 major goals I have, those will fall in line if I actually start to embrace the discomfort. So,
what would you say our marital goals are for this upcoming year?
I mean, it's simple. It's gonna be just making sure that we stay on the same page. Being able to, and I think another goal for us is, we're kind of doing it via this platform, is really starting to help other couples as well, and I think that's a major thing for me, because before I really couldn't see an avenue to kind of complete this outside of being in some sort of organized church setting and do it effectively. But I feel we can actually do this very effectively right here. And that's comforting to me.
I would say, and for us to go on vacation. We wouldn't have one on vacation. We went on vacation, but we talking about vacation. We're talking about like flying in somebody's island. I kid you not, every time we plan, we never had a honeymoon. I kid you, every time we plan a honeymoon or a getaway, something happens where we can't go. First time after we got married, we was gonna go on the honeymoon. I got pregnant and was just so sick. I was like, I can't go, and it won't be fun to go anywhere. So plan the honeymoon again. Okay, we gonna go. Got pregnant the second time. It's like, dang nabbit. Did another third time. We did a staycation. I was in bed the whole time. Yes, I was pregnant then too. Was in the bed the whole time because I was so daggone sick. So this year we was like, nah, okay.
Yo, last year I said, I don't care what happens in August. We are going on vacation, just me and you.
We was like, no pregnancy. Like, we don't have to worry about it. Ain't no more babies.
Forget them kids. We went on vacation. And then pandemic came.
Yeah.
So
every year I'm like, Lord, are you trying to tell us something?
You don't want us to have fun. Like
every when we plan, like, okay, we're gonna go somewhere for real, something happened where we can't go. So I would like for us to have a honeymoon, vacation, staycation. No, I don't want no staycation though. No.
Backtrack on that.
Take that back.
Mind it back, girl. I'm not agreeing with you on that. Yeah.
But I do. I would like that. So maybe 2021 we better to get that.
Yeah, if if people act right.
Yeah. And for me, since you asked me about my goals for next year, since you asked, here we go. So my goal for next year, one, I would say for my business, to actually focus and put more effort into my business, like really go out there. So my business is TR Consultants, which is the outpatient counseling services. So to really
for what?
For individual counseling or family counseling, clinical, mental health counseling.
Thank you.
Okay. But my goal is to really start promoting, like really start putting marketing, putting myself out there and put my business out there, my brand. My 14-year-old brother came up with like my brand, and it's awesome. I was like, Dad, he did put more effort into it than I did. Like, it was an awesome job. Also, providing LCSW supervision. Hit me up if you want supervision for your LCSW in Virginia. We can work it out. But that's one thing I'm really want to focus on. For the podcast, I think introducing new people. Like, including more people.
Oh.
Maybe more families, more couples, more whatever. I think podcasts including opening up to more people.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. That'd be cool.
And then, as you say, having a conversation about fear or / anxiety.
Yeah, I mean, those are like, I feel like some of those topics you don't they're always prevalent. So you're gonna have
especially
to always,
right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to always circle back to those things, like love, having trust, fear, communication. Those are ongoing things, and then as
maintaining a spark in your relationship.
Yeah, like all those things. So make sure that when you're done, you write all these things down.
I was gonna tell you that you better write it down. Rewind it back. Listen. But that's another one, how to maintain the fire in your relationship.
Yeah, that sounded real corny. You saying that your mouth.
I was saying about fire and desire.
Yeah,
honestly.
please stop singing.
I was in my head. That
No.
James
I know.
and Tina Marie.
I know. You're looking like you're drunk. Oh,
Right. I was like, fine.
Oh, yeah.
You
Hey,
know,
yeah, and
you know once you do
guys.
that. No. You know when you do that, I think I could sing.
I know.
When you move your head, I mean you're a good singer. Yep.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode today.
This is our last episode.
Yeah. So
for 2020.
Yeah. Why are you talking like that?
Booty, not the booty.
How tired are you?
I'm tired.
Stupid. All right.
Tired.
In conclusion,
Happy New Year.
Yeah, all that stuff. Happy Kwanzaa, whatever.
Please never die.
Yeah, Hanukkah's over, I think. So either way, hang with the Joneses, man. We appreciate you guys' support this year. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I mean, that should seem like the obligatory thing to do.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, so we know when we drop new episodes. We do this Monday, 7 a.m. We do a vlog every Saturday morning-ish. Bonus episode next week is going to be the premiere of the new pod with the kids hanging with Hang with the Joneses. Is going to be called The Kids Got Something to Say podcast featuring our children. And that's gonna be pretty dope. We just starting off with that. We 2 episodes deep now, so we're gonna have.
Oldest. Hopefully she won't be laughing out.
Yeah, and we'll probably with Maddie too, because she can talk.
Oh, and the baby too?
No, I'm good on that.
No, yes, you include her. She talks.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah,
So
you get the real.
no.
You're gonna and with the baby.
All right. Well, I'm about to say So IG hanging with _the Joneses on Facebook. Hanging with the Joneses. We will see you all later.